You're not going to tell anyone about me, are you? Not that I've done anything wrong, mind you. I just didn't have the will to fight anymore. So I stopped. Fighting, that is. Private Elia Madmere reporting for duty. Oh, I am not fooling anyone. Listen, I've got some useful skills to trade if you're willing to keep my little secret hushed. Lockpicking for your silence, or gold. So, you already know I ran from my post. So, well, you probably consider me a coward. You wouldn't be wrong. Silly, isn't it? A young girl enlists in the army, but then panics at the sight of battle. Probably wonder what I expected. I know I do. It's a talent, really. A sleight of hand trick that my older brother taught me so we could nab ale from our uncle's footlocker. It sure comes in useful out here. See you!
Greetings. Oh, how can I ever begin to thank you? What an ordeal that was. Quite the ordeal indeed. Please, let me introduce myself. I am Bern Elgar, head steward of House Ancilla. Of course, since the house no longer exists, that means I now serve you. Do not misunderstand. I adore the Lord and Lady, but my first responsibility is to the fortress itself, to Sea-Watch. But of course it is. Do you see anyone else of substance? Another soul deserving of such a prize? Surely not. Sea-Watch was the first of the Ancilla castles, and the finest. But without its staff, it is a lonely place. Its halls empty of the voices that once filled it. As your newest and only advisor, I suggest that we begin renovations. It'll be costly, mind you, but well worth the investment. Wonderful, my liege, wonderful. You will not regret it. The corridors of Sea-Watch will once again ring with merriment. That is, if there were people here to make merriment. If I might make another suggestion, it would be nice if you were able to convince the former staff to return. I would start with Connie, a rather quirky and elemental fey alchemist, who found a place in our master's heart as his gardener. Connie was unique, even among her own kind. The last we saw of the poor creature, she was being pursued by Bolgan, and I fear she was taken prisoner. Oh, Connie. She spent much of her time wandering the gardens of old Castle Ancilla, where the family lived. Of course, word has it that she was locked away by the Bolgan, poor thing. Really, my liege? You wish to know about me? Why, I am Bern Elgar, he who lives to serve his charges at Sea-Watch. Where to begin? Well, I attended to the young lord before he was master of all the lands before him. Then I tutored and served his son, young Master Droon. Ancilla was once a mighty name, a mighty line. Few like them remain, at least those of the old order. A time of when Loselfar and Dokelfar were kin. This castle was meant as a holdout against the hordes, a final martial bastion against the encroaching. And it did exactly that, if only in theory. Lord Ancilla commissioned its construction well into the twilight of his days, and it was finished just months before the Bolgan invasion. Months too late, it seems. Goodbye.
You found the dolls? Wonderful! Just wait until my sister gets her eyes on them. They'll wipe the sneer right off her ugly face. So tell me, was there any truth to the old legend that there's something special about them, the dolls? Then the gems are yours, as compensation for your work. I am happy to keep the dolls, for they are a part of history. Thank you again. I cannot wait to tell my sister about how the hero of Melsenshire solved the mystery of Lady Ancilla's children.
Hello? You have done it. You have rid the gates of the Bolgan. As promised, I have another tale to be told. The very first Eren Gastir arrived here generations ago from Mel Senshir, before the final tower was raised, when the great giants of Cluracan were but saplings. On that very first morning of his arrival, while the sun ascended the sky, Gastir scaled the heights and saw below him the great keep of the merchant Ancilla. Gastir could not bear such an intrusion on his new ancestral homeland, and swore an oath. By right of mine, and sword in hand, I will not forsake our native land. Now that you've seen Castle Gastir, we should move on to the final stop on our journey. The last thing I want to show you is near the coast, on the cliffs overlooking the sea. It's the best story yet, but again, it must be freed of Bolgan. Brune was the name given to me by my mother, a lovely daughter of the full moon. A skin like the glow of alabastra. Long ago, I was the court bard of Castle Gastir, the teller of tales, the spinner of stories. But when the Bolgan invaded, well, they had no need of my expertise. Goodbye. Hello. We've cleansed this place of the Bolgan. I shall tell you the last tale, the best of the lot. Believe me, these cliffs were made for my story. I've told the tale of the first Erengustir, he who discovered these lands. And I've told the tale of his descendant, the last Erengustir, he who lost these lands. My final tale is that this last lord took a young mistress to his bed, a servant named Wilda Brandon. They had a child he refused to claim as his own. To assuage his guilt, he wrote a royal letter in which he decreed to her and the child great wealth. But rather than take that letter, she took her own life. Here, that woman was my mother. Hear me, friend. I do not have much, but I will offer you all that I have to find me that letter. The letter that broke my mother's heart. I will read it, and I will finally know if what my mother told me was true. Then I will destroy it. I want nothing to do with Augustias. My mother never wanted his kingdom. She only wanted his love. That letter has haunted me for 10 years. I will now be rid of it. Of him. Friends. Yes. I suppose we are friends. I'm not sure where to look for Father's letter. Father. Strange to call him that. I would think he'd keep it near, lest such revelations be discovered. The castle. That would make some sense, wouldn't it? I'll be back at camp. Be careful. I would feel terrible if anything happened to you. I remember my father having a chest near his throne. I always assumed it was where he kept his mother's personal possessions. Lord Erengustir was a very wealthy lord and a powerful landowner. I don't care to speak much more on the subject, thank you. Goodbye.
The strength of contempt, fear, and hate courses through the rushing veins to the very fingertips. The instruments of war are readied, light in the grip, and machinations of the gauntlets of the Fey Hunter.
After all this time, I'd just assumed Enodon had abandoned me, that there was no justice left in this world. But here before me stands the hero of Melsenshire, in the skin, fresh from the Baelor's bloodying, and it appears my prayers have been answered. Tell me, how much goodwill do you have left, honored one? Yes, I remember Brune. He was kind, silly. There weren't many like him in the court. When everyone else was so grim, Brune and his heart never ceased singing. I wonder how he fares now. I knew a Drune Ancilla years ago, but that was another life, and I was another person. My quest here is what matters. It has consumed me. Did you say the Ancilla key? Why, yes, of course I have it. In 10 years, I've never let it leave my sight. Are you saying that Droon is alive? That he's here? Wait, this could be a trick. How do I know you're not here to seize the Gastier domain just as I'm about to win it back? Droon, I'd never forget. Our families stoked such hate. But I could never hate Droon. He was the reason I wanted to survive the Bolgan, to come back, start over. Take the key, give it to Droon. Send him good wishes. Perhaps when all of this is over, he and I can resume our friendship. I grew up behind the walls of this stronghold. All my memories are of its beauty, its security. It was an ideal childhood. Those days have long since passed. When the Tuatha marched, it was Rassanon who killed my family and claimed Castle Gastier as his own. And though he may hold the castle, he will never hold its name. I have devoted my entire life to reclaiming this castle, enlisting in the army, fighting under General Tilera, and then breaking free of Melsenshire. This is my destiny. My great-great-grandfather built this keep. You can still find the one stone resting where he laid it in the courtyard. We spent 4 generations in these hallowed halls. Then the Bolgan came, followed by their Tuatha masters. They killed everyone, Fae and Alfar alike. Rassanon was the worst of them. He murdered my mother and now sleeps in my family's chambers. With your help, Honored One, my family will find restitution. You will be rewarded, my friend. We Gastiers have long memories of both our friends and our enemies. Come. Rassanon knows I cannot pass through his gauntlet alone, but together we can avenge Castle Gastier. It has stood here on the Kaled coast for centuries, a testament to the will of my ancestors. Rassanon made it a grave. Now I will make it his. The castle has been completely ransacked by the Bolgan, and debris blocks the gate into the castle. We have to go around through the dungeons. Then I will have my revenge. Believe me, it has been far too long in coming. Were you not told the stories as a child of Rassanon the Ravager? Rassanon the Red-Eyed? He was one of the first to give himself to Gadflow. It is my life's work to make him answer for his crimes. Old as I am, he is older. And I don't want him to die without knowing the rage of his killer. I am a captain under what is left of General Tilera's army. There are only a handful of us left after Melsenshire, but we press southward toward the Tuatha's lair. However, my quest for justice means more to me than any victory. I have left my soldiers in the capable hands of Captain Canwin. She has moved ahead without me. Hurry. keep going. It's not far now. He didn't even seem to remember me. I've given my life to finding and killing Rasanon, and he probably didn't even understand why. But now the quest is ended, here, at home. I want you to have everything of mine as a reward, and to help me forget the many years of tragedy that led me to this end. Now go. I need rest. I deserve rest. These old halls have been held too long by the Bolgan. Castle Gestir has been left a ruin. Once this war is over, we will rebuild. My days of blades and battles are behind me. With the aid of people like you, I shall rebuild the Caelid coast. The name Gestir will mean something again. Farewell.
What is it? You have gone through much to bring me this, only to watch it destroyed. But it must be done. You understand? This letter proves that I am an heir to Gestir, and an heir to his heartlessness. He gave my mother everything, when all she wanted was his love. And now, she's gone. You are my friend. You may not agree, but that is what I choose to believe. You have helped me more than anyone has. I will remember you. I hope you will remember me. She may be the only one truly worthy of the Gestir name, superior to her father in every way. I remember Hill. She and I used to play together in the courtyard. I try not to think of her as a sister. It makes matters all the more confusing. The wonderful gentlemen and ladies of the Alpha armies have been kind enough to act as my loyal escorts, all the way from Melsenshire. And before that, Erethel, without these good hearty folk I never would have survived. The voyage across the sea would have been enough to sink my spirits. Farewell.
We feel the glare of a silver raptor, a furrowed brow, eyes that pierce the veil. We see the scowling engraved face of a beautiful, elegant terminus. We know this mask of death, this azure visage, this celestial teardrop, as the helm of the Fey Hunter.
As you take, so are you taken. Hold me in your love, and I hold you in my own. Borrow me, and I will borrow you. A kind of kindness, and forever a chill to comfort the warm.
Hello.
Hi. Hi.
The summer Fae suffered the winter's onslaught. They collided amidst lightning and fire, and a god storm gathered up the land in its embrace, crushing it. Do you remember the steady rain? The hail of bodies, both wintry and warm? It was a sword carving the plains with death.
I understand that you may be busy, but I would truly enjoy seeing the sun again. Is it still the color of sky blossom? Sea Watch. Yes, that's what it was called. I enjoyed my tenure there. So many plants to talk to and mortals to observe. The Tuatha imprisoned us, the servants and advisors, when they invaded 10 years ago. Most of the prisoners perished of starvation or disease, the poor souls. Would you be so kind as to locate the key to this dungeon door? Solitude in no way agrees with me. Farewell. I see you have the key to the dungeon. Why not use it? Goodbye. You are truly a mortal of my master's ilk. A generous soul like Lord Ancilla. I do not know where your fate takes you, but there is always a place for you at Sea Watch. That is where I go now, to prepare the fortress for his return. Be well, and may your roads be prosperous. Farewell.
I think you'll find that I've convinced the reagents in your garden to be extra potent in your potions. Consider it a gift from us to you. Goodbye.
My word, Connie is back at Sea-Watch. Soon all our ears will be buzzing with her disjointed prattle. How I missed it. Do you like what I've managed to do in your absence? Removing the rubble was a chore, but everything is possible with patience. Our next best course of action is to pursue Sea-Watch's old healer, the soldier Aryan Overdue. He's a brave soul, one who enlisted in the army soon after the war began. Always want to fight for justice, Aryan joined the war effort in an attempt to win back our homeland. They say he's a sergeant now. It's well deserved. Farewell.